A while back, I did a video about how I was pro-life and also pro-capital punishment, and I still stand by that, except that when I posted a clip of that on Instagram, I was confronted that I can't be pro-life if I'm pro-capital punishment because those people have lives, and I'm clearly not pro their lives, which is not that's not true. That is not at all what that is at all. It's not like I don't want to kill people. I'm not anti-life in that way. So we got into this conversation and went back and forth, and I mean there was a lot of circular logic on the other side, and I just kept kind of trying to bring it back because they were trying to trap me, but that's how that goes. Anyway, so it came down to I conceded that fine. I will concede that I am that the whole idea that offended this person of being pro-life and pro capital punishment. So I said, okay, well, can I say I'm anti-abortion? And it's like anti-abortion and pro-abortion. He's like, no, you can't say that because nobody's really pro-abortion. Well, I would beg to differ on that count, but I was like, okay, well then pro-consequence. I'm pro-consequence, and the other side is anti-consequence, and that's how I'm going to address it from now on. So that's what I'm doing. I am here to address my pro-consequence stance and explain how that rolls into all different aspects of life, because you know what, I'm kind of seriously tired of all of this crazy and everybody being like, this is the line in the sand on that side but not this side. You know what, so this guy was right. We need something that if it's right for everybody, and if it's wrong for everybody. So this is where I stand. I am pro consequence, and that covers a whole lot of stuff. So first and foremost, abortion. I am against abortion because I am pro consequence. I believe that if two consenting adults have, a relationship, whether it's for one night or 20 years, and a child results from that, you two consenting adults who are well aware of how babies are made and that no contraception is 100% accurate, they are responsible for the consequences of their actions, which is the baby. That is the choice. If you choose to terminate that pregnancy, then it's not that's not the choice. That's the consequence of a choice you've already made, which makes you anti-consequence. And that's that. Capital punishment. I am pro-consequence, which means I support capital punishment. And what does that mean? That means that I believe if someone who is convicted of a crime that is on the table for capital punishment, meaning death, which means they've committed a murder. Really, the only reason, although personally I think that rape should be up on the table for capital punishment too. And rapists get off way too lightly, and that encourages other rapists. But you know what? That's all we're talking about right now. Right now, we were talking about actual on the books capital punishment, which is not on the books in every state, which I think is a travesty. But again, I'm talking about where it is legal right now. So really, the only thing that pushes capital punishment as a dolable consequence to these actions is murder, and typically multiple murders. Serial killers, for the most part, in the last, I can't say, I haven't really done any in-depth research on this, but the people subjected to capital punishment that I think we hear about the most are the serial killers. But basically unrepentant murder, right? You killed people and you would do it again if you were given the chance to go back, type of thing. And that sort of thing that's up to the jury to decide. So, but I do think it should be on the table. I absolutely do. And if they are found guilty in a court of law under, a trial of peers, then capital punishment should be on the table, because those people need to take responsibility for their actions, and the consequence of murder is that you forfeit your own life. That is how the rights happen. You have your rights up until you infringe upon the rights of other people, and then you have to take responsibility for the consequences of that infringement. So, pro capital punishment, anti abortion, all falls under pro consequence. Other things, I mean, not everything is going to be super black and white. Okay, I mean, I fully admit that there are going to be exceptions all over the place. You know, I said in a previous video, and I do believe that there should be exceptions built into abortion. I think that abortion should be treated as a medical procedure, because it is. That you shouldn't be able to go and, walk into a Planned Parenthood abortion clinic, get an abortion that same day, and walk out and go home. I mean, there's psychological issues that go along with abortion. There are physical complications that could arise. I can't go to the doctor and say, hey, I want to get my appendix taken out because I don't want to have to worry about appendicitis. They would tell me to go to my doctor to get screened, to look into it, if they felt that that was a reasonable thing to do, they would refer me to a specialist, and then I would consult with that specialist, and this would take like weeks, if not months, before we even get to a part where somebody starts cutting me open. I would say it's no better than the back alley abortions of the 60s. Again, I haven't done any deep research into this, but with the ease of access, I cannot imagine it is any better than a back alley abortion or a clothes hanger abortion or whatever. It's not safe mentally, physically, emotionally. It's just, but again, talking pro consequence here. But yes, I do believe that there should be exceptions built in for people who shouldn't have to face the consequences of other people's actions. Okay, there's a big difference between two people who decide that they're going to have sex and someone who is coerced or forced without their consent. Rape and incest are things that happen, and they're terrible. And that's when somebody should go to a doctor or a psychologist, a mental health specialist, something, and get a referral to an abortion specialist who would be able to give them the before care and the after care that they need, to walk them through the procedure, to make sure that they understand everything that's going to happen, to give them all of their options, and then proceed if necessary. So that is totally different from being pro consequence for these people who just want to have a good time, which is, that was something that guy said. I think he said, I think you're talking about, teens who fool around and get pregnant, but what about, somebody they're like in their 30s and they go to the bar and they just want to have a good time and the condom breaks. I would have so much more sympathy for those kids, those teens who did something stupid, who fooled around and messed up. And because they're not adults, they don't understand fully the consequences of their actions. The two halves of the front and back half of the brain aren't even connected until you're like 25 or something. So they deserve a little bit more grace. But those 30 somethings they're very well aware of what they're doing, and I have no sympathy for that. As far as I'm concerned, that is child sacrifice. You are putting that baby on the altar of Planned Parenthood, saying that my life and my circumstances and my job and my whatever are more important than the future that this child could have. I'm going to sacrifice that child to the ether to bless my future as I move forward with my life. I'm not even going to apologize for that. That is my view of that. You are sacrificing children on the altar of Planned Parenthood to make your life easier. So, those are like the two big ones. I can't think of any others off the top of my head. I have no doubt that I have them, but basically it's going to come down to, if there is an action that is taken knowingly and willingly taken, that has consequences you don't like, and you try to negate those consequences, I am not in support of that. I'm not. You need to take responsibility. You do. Whether it is for a child that you didn't expect, whether it is for a crime that you committed. Oh gosh, there was this one that I saw just the other day that was, we need to have accommodations for people who are like time challenged, who have difficulty being on time for things. Like talking about a job, like we need to have accommodations at jobs for people who struggle with being on time. No, figure it out. If you want to keep that job, you better figure it out. That job shouldn't have to pay you for not coming in when you're supposed to do your job. That's not how that works. You want to be able to set your own hours, create your own business. I guarantee if you create your own business, you're not going to be as accommodating to people who are time challenged when they work for you. So yeah, all of that, all of the things. I am pro consequence, backward and forward, and I will never apologize for that. Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, subscribe, and do all those things that you do when you enjoy a video. If you'd like to learn more about us at Moms for America or the Millennial Rant, you can visit our website at millennialrant.com or see us on our Instagram page at millennial_rant. I look forward to seeing you next week, and I hope that you have a wonderful day.